My beloved child, in this moment, as your heart grows still and you step into a sacred pause, I ask you to open wide the gates of your soul. Do not let anything cloud the sound of heaven's voice, which now gently knocks on the door of your spirit. Place your hand over your heart not merely as a symbolic gesture, but as a way to connect with the divine source of life, where I dwell in every heartbeat, where I whisper truths the ears of man cannot hear. These quiet stirrings within you are not random. They are warning bells, not meant to instill fear, but to awaken your soul from the slumber of the world's illusions. Know this, the storm that is approaching will not look like the ones you've known. It will not be marked by dark clouds or swirling winds, but by an invisible wave slipping through the deepest corners of your life. It is the storm of compromise, of subtle choices that appear harmless, but gradually erode the holiness within you. The enemy does not arrive with a fearsome face. It enters cloaked in false peace, wrapped in sweet words and seemingly reasonable logic, yet within is a venom that slowly kills faith. I see how weary you are from standing under pressure. I see your efforts to live rightly, to hold on to what is good in a world that grows increasingly dim. But it is in this very hour that deception begins to masquerade as truth. I know how torn you feel amid conflicting voices and uncertain paths. But remember, it is only when you return to the secret place where it is just you and me, without the noise, the stage lights, or others' opinions, that you will hear the true voice from heaven. In that sacred silence, I will open your spiritual eyes so you may see what human eyes cannot. You will understand why I have been urging you to step away from what seems harmless. You will discern that what you've labeled as normal may, in fact, be carefully disguised traps. I don't merely want to rescue you from danger. I want to lead you into abundant, unshaken life. The obedience I seek from you is not mere outward compliance. It is true surrender from the heart. When I say do not continue, do not find excuses to delay. When I say leave that place, do not cling to what is past. When I nudge you to pray for someone, do not wait for the right time, for the time is now. Every moment of hesitation is an opening the enemy may exploit. I do not reveal these things to frighten you. On the contrary, I unveil the truth to deliver you. I am the one who led my people through deserts and seas. I will never abandon you in the middle of your journey. Just as Noah believed in what had never been seen and was saved, just as Lot heard my voice amid a city in flames, just as Jonah was sent to awaken a sleeping nation, you too are being called in this critical hour of spiritual history. Do not shut your heart to the stirring of the Holy Spirit, the strange dreams, the sudden images that flash across your mind, the scriptures that ignite within your soul. These are not coincidences. They are signals from heaven, sent to rouse you in the night. They are gentle yet urgent reminders that you are being called to step out, to not fall asleep in the false comfort the world offers. You are not forsaken. You are being summoned, not just for your sake, but for those whose lives your obedience will touch. My beloved child, I am tenderly cultivating within you a heart that is soft and a spirit that is sensitivable to discern what truly comes from me and what is merely a counterfeit shadow. I am restoring your ability to listen with your soul, to see through faith, and to walk not according to emotion, but according to the leading of my spirit. Do not fear when everything around you begins to shake, for these tremors are not meant to destroy you, but to separate you from what no longer belongs to your sacred destiny. At this moment, I am waiting for you to step into instant, obedience, out of fear, but out of trust. For I am the good Father who prepares the way before you. I am building an invisible hedge of protection around you through the small acts of obedience you choose today. When you pray for the person I have placed on your heart, you are opening a spiritual gate for deliverance. When you walk away from a relationship I have not blessed, you are escaping the trap of stagnation. When you pause in your journey and ask, Father, what do you want? That is the moment you align with your heavenly path. I know this is not easy, but I also know that your faith is greater than you realize. Your love for me is strong enough to overcome the pull of the past. And the hope within you, no matter how small, is enough for me to breathe into flame a new fire. You are not alone. My angels surround you. And I, the faithful one, am right beside you, whispering direction into each step you take. Listen again, not with your natural ears, but with a soul that longs for the light. And when you hear me calling, say, Yes, Lord, I am ready. For the very moment you speak those words, heaven will begin to move for you. Your destiny will be reshaped not by what you have done, but by the holy obedience you offer in response to my voice. My precious child, engrave this upon your heart. Your life is not merely a personal journey. Every choice you make, every step you take, every prayer you lift, sends ripples far beyond you. The silent decisions made in the secret place, the unseen acts of integrity, the times you say no to sin and yes to a divine calling, all of these are shaping not only your future, but the destinies of souls divinely connected to you in heaven's design. If you remain steadfast in prayer, not only when it's easy, but also when your heart is heavy and your lips struggle to find words, if you walk in holiness, not for show, but because you love me and understand that you've been set apart for a greater purpose, then in those moments, you become light in the darkness, a lamp that cannot be hidden, a spiritual refuge for weary souls searching for hope. Oh, my watchman, you cannot fall asleep while the enemy prowls. I need you awake not just to guard yourself, but to guard the gate. There are souls entrusted to your intercession. There are forces of darkness that will be pushed back by a single cry from your sincere heart. And there are miracles that will only be released when you choose to stand firm rather than compromise. Do not underestimate the power of quiet obedience. Do not assume that a short prayer is insignificant. In heaven, every act of faith you make is recorded and remembered. There are battles that require only your stance in obedience for heaven's armies to be released on your behalf. But likewise, there are opportunities that will vanish if you choose to compromise. If you reject the position assigned to you in this appointed hour, so remain steadfast. My beloved, I am watching. I am guiding. I am waiting for your yes. And when it comes, I will move in ways beyond your understanding, because the surrendered heart of one faithful soul can shift the course of eternity. Therefore, my holy warrior, rise up, clothe yourself with the full armor of the Spirit. Fasten the belt of truth tightly around your waist. Take up the shield of faith and the sword of the Spirit. This is not the time to grow weary or remain stagnant, nor is it the time to settle into the comfort of a false sense of security. This is the time for you to take your place in the ranks, not with the confidence of the flesh, but with the strength of the one who has called you. Lift your hands in prayer. Open your spiritual eyes to see me at work, and keep your heart steadfast amidst the currents of life. My beloved child, I know there are times when you feel too small beneath the weight of this calling. I see you falter when everything around you seems beyond your ability to endure. But remember this, it is in your very weakness that my power is made perfect. I do not demand anything from you except your willingness. I do not need you to be unshakable like a rock. I only need you to know that I am your rock. I do not require you to understand all things. I only ask that you trust that I am the eternal wisdom. When you feel as though you are standing alone in the heart of a smoky battlefield, know this, I am behind you, beside you, and even ahead of you. I fight for you. I surround you with a spiritual shield that no force of darkness can penetrate. Understand that the works I am doing on your behalf are often invisible to the human eye, and yet they exist purely to protect you. Come to Minnow just with words, but with a sincere heart, be still in prayer. Listen for my voice in each peaceful breath you take. I am not hiding, it's just that you must quiet the noise around you to hear me clearly. When you come to me in brokenness and surrender, I will never turn you away. It is in that very place that I will rescue you. Renew your mind and restore your strength. I do not need perfection. I need readiness. I do not search for the most capable, but I choose the humble hearts that say yes when I call. These are the hearts that will shake the very gates of darkness. As I have spoken, watch and pray, that you may not enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Matthew, my child, weakness is not failure when you surrender it to me. Let me become your strength. Let me carry what is too heavy for you, and walk forward with the assurance that you are not battling alone. You are called, equipped, surrounded, and loved with an unshakable love. Even now, stand firm. Keep interceding. Keep the lamp burning. For the day will come when those you have prayed for will return, and they will call you a faithful watchman. And in that moment, you will understand that every hidden tear, every sleepless night of prayer, every unseen step of obedience has helped write the great story of heaven. And I, the one who loves you, will smile and say, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with little. Now enter into the joy of your master." You are not left behind. You are called, you are chosen, and you are being prepared for a moment that no one else can fulfill. Walk with me. Stand watch. Obey, and you will see my hand move in your life in a way you have never seen before. My beloved child, I know every sigh you never voiced, every tear you hid in the dark, and every silent struggle within your heart that no one else could see. I hear the whispers in your mind when you wonder if you're strong enough to withstand this invisible battle. And I have come to remind you of this. It is precisely because you feel weak that I can be strong within you. You have not been sidelined in heaven's plan. On the contrary, you are standing at the very center of a sacred shift that the natural eyes cannot fully perceive. I have placed you here, at this exact moment, for a very specific purpose. It is not by chance that you were born into this generation. It is not coincidence that your heart feels burdened when you see your loved ones lost, wounded, and standing at the edge of something you cannot name. That weight you carry is a sign that I am stirring a divine mission within you. Do you think your prayers are mere whispers lost in a noisy world? No. My child, every word you breathe in secret unto me shakes the realm of heaven. Every tear shed in intercession is kept in my bowl of remembrance. The enemy does not tremble at loud declarations from platforms. He trembles at the silent warriors, those unknown by name but unshakable in faith. You are one of them. You are the one I have appointed to stand in the gap. You are the watchman, the shield bearer, the one rebuilding the broken walls with hands of forgiveness and a heart of love. And even though you may not see it clearly right now, every small act of obedience is weaving together a tapestry far greater than you can imagine. I know the exhaustion is real. I know the loneliness sometimes makes you question yourself. But hear me now. You are not forgotten. I am strengthening you day by day, hour by hour, so you can stand firm where others would easily fall. Be alert, O one whom I have chosen. Do not let the enemy deceive you into believing that what you are doing is insignificant. He knows your worth sometimes more clearly than you do. That is why he tries to make you doubt, to erode your confidence, and to pull you away from your post. But I say to you today, do not retreat, stand your ground. Stand firm, because when you stand, I move. When you intercede, I redeem. When you obey, I make a way. You may not see the results immediately, but do not let that discourage you. The seeds you plant today will grow into shelter for future generations. Your silent prayers will become the resounding echo that awakens an entire lineage. You are writing a vital chapter in a spiritual story, not just your own, but that of many others you cannot yet see. I am calling you not merely to observe, but to act, not in the ways of the world, but in the ways of heaven, with kindness, with forgiveness, with steadfastness, and above all, with unconditional love. I do not call you to be perfect. I only need you to be willing, my beloved child. Do not be disheartened by the silence of those around you. They may not speak, but their souls are crying out. They may appear strong, but inside, cracks are widening. And I, in my mercy, I am seeking one who is willing to stand in the gap and intercede for them. I need someone who does not give up simply because results are not immediately visible. I need you. Be a refuge for those who are confused. Be a light for those groping in the darkness. Be a bridge that leads wandering souls back to me. Do not underestimate your role. Do not wait for human recognition. I have seen your heart, and I am pleased with what I see. Continue to pray. Guard your home with blessings. Lay your hands on the doors and declare my protection. Speak my word aloud, so that the atmosphere around you may be purified. These acts are not small. They are building a spiritual fortress stronger than anything the world could ever imagine. This is a season of transformation, not just for you, but for an entire generation. And if you stand in the right place, obeying my voice, you will witness not only your own transformation, but also the transformation of those you love, those whom you once thought could never change. My beloved child, every word you just whispered through your tears, I have received like precious jewels in the palm of my hand. Nothing about you is too small for my attention. No prayer is too weak to reach heaven. Do you know this? Each time you softly speak the name of someone lost in darkness, I lean in to listen. Every breath laced with your sorrow, I have stored in the cup of my loving kindness. Do not stop now. Do not let weariness tempt you to let go. Do not let the temporary silence of your circumstances cause you to doubt my voice. The walls you are facing are not eternal. They are waiting to collapse under the weight of your perseverance and unceasing prayer. You may not see it fully yet, but in the spirit realm, every word you declare is leaving a mark. Every moment you keep your heart anchored in me is a powerful hammer striking down the chains. Do you know what pleases me most? Not your perfection, but your faithfulness even in weakness. I do not choose the flawless. I choose those willing to be shaped. No one is born strong enough to keep the flame burning endlessly. But I pour new oil each day to those who draw near. And you are one of them, the watchman, the keeper of the flame, the silent warrior mightier than any army. I am opening a new territory for you, a deeper place where you no longer pray just to survive, but to set captives free. It is no longer about your own safe place, but about fighting to pull others out of darkness. And to do that, you must keep oil in your lamp. You must walk in unbroken communion with me. Night is falling upon the earth not with visible darkness, but with a creeping spiritual coldness entering the hearts of many. Souls have fallen asleep. Hearts have grown hard. But you must not slumber. You must not loosen your grip. You must not leave your post. For when all is quiet, that is when I am moving silently. And I need someone on the heights to see afar, to intercede, to block waves of destruction before they break in. What you are sacrificing today, your hidden fasting, your tearful prayers, your patience, despite the lack of visible results, all of it is remembered by me. I am not a God who overlooks. I am not slow as man perceives slowness. I am weaving a great design, and each thread is held together by the faithful trust of ones like you. I promise you this, your sacrifice will not be in vain. One day, those for whom you now intercede in prayer will rise and testify that it was your intercession that kept them from falling. One day, the declarations you made, grounded in my word, will resound like a trumpet call, rallying an entire generation. And one day, when you look back, you will see that every tear shed in this present moment has become a rain of grace poured upon parched souls. Hold tightly to the spiritual sword in your hand, that is, my word, not as a book to be read and shelved, but as a weapon of survival. It is not merely ink on a paget, it is breath. It is life. It is the power to shatter every limitation. Let my word soak into your thoughts, flow through your veins, become the language you speak and the heartbeat by which you live. Declare my word not only when you feel full of faith, but also in moments of doubt. Speak my truth even when your emotions cry out in opposition. For when you declare my word, heaven and earth pay attention, demons tremble, and my will moves forward, unstoppable and unshaken. I am training you to be a warrior who does not break, not so that you might be admired, but so that you might be useful, not so you may live comfortably, but so you may live impactfully. You were not merely called to know me, but to reveal me. Within you flows a river of life, a fire that will not die out, and a calling that cannot be extinguished by doubt or weariness. Therefore, keep walking, keep praying, offer each day as a living sacrifice, and never underestimate what happens when one person, even just one, chooses to trust me until the end. For I am your fortress. I am your covering. I am the one who is leading you into the promised land, not by what the natural eye can see, but by the light of faith. My beloved child, as you step into the awakening I have prepared, you will begin to recognize that the battle you are facing is unlike any earthly conflict. This is not a fight of flesh and blood, nor of argument and rhetoric. It is an invisible war, but not a meaningless one. And because it is invisible, the enemy thrives in the apathy of man. Yet I would never allow you to walk unknowingly onto the battlefield without equipping you. I am the one who trains your hands for war, your heart for endurance, and your soul for victory. When you begin to see things through spiritual eyes, you will no longer be surprised that the smallest things often carry the greatest power. A whisper in prayer can shake the heavens. A silent tear can be preserved by me as a treasure. No act of faith is ever wasted, because each step you take is weaving a piece of the greater tapestry that you may not yet fully see. I want to remind you of the spiritual weapons I have already given you. You do not walk unarmed, and you are never alone. As the scriptures declare, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Ephesians 6:12. These words are not only for spiritual leaders, not only for prophets or missionaries, they are meant for every one of my children, including you, because each of you is on some front line, whether in your family, your workplace, your community, or even within the battlefield of your own mind. And the enemy, whether you see him or not, is still working hour by hour, moment by moment. I've not only given you armor, but also understanding, so you may know how to use it. Do not wear the armor without stepping into the battle, and do not enter the battle without wearing the armor. Righteousness, truth, the gospel of peace, faith, salvation, and the Word of God are your weapons. But the one thing that holds them all together is unceasing prayer. My beloved child, in this moment when everything feels uncertain, when you are unsure of what to do, prayer is where you begin. No eloquent words are needed. No formal posture is required. All it takes is a sincere heart, a whispered cry, Lord, please lead me. And I, the faithful one, will answer. I never abandon the prayer of one who seeks me with all their heart. I also know that there are days when you are tired, moments when your prayers feel like they are falling into an endless void, times when it seems the heavens are shut and I am silent. But it is precisely in those moments that your perseverance becomes a mighty roar in the spiritual realm. Because faith is not a feeling, it is a choice. You choose to keep believing, to keep praying, to keep walking, even when you cannot see, cannot feel, and cannot understand. That is where I find my true warriors. Do not wait until you feel ready to rise. For if you wait for that moment, it may already be too late. I do not call you based on your sufficiency, but on mine. Your weakness is the very place where my power is made perfect. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need one thing: trust. Know this when you rise. It is not just for yourself, but for those you love, for the community in which you live, for the generation you are raising. You are stepping into the very place I've appointed for you. I did not place you there by accident. Your presence is part of my rescue plan. Every act of kindness, every encouraging word, every quiet prayer is a spark of light in the darkness. My beloved, never underestimate the light you carry. It may not blaze like the midday sun, but in the night, even a single candle can lead many. Your steadfastness in faith, in loyalty, is what causes heaven to record your name. I have seen the times you chose forgiveness over resentment, I remember the mornings you knelt to pray in silence, and I do not overlook a single act you perform in obedience. You are being refined like gold in the fire. Every moment you stand firm in trial is a step forward in spiritual maturity. Do not despise the difficult days, for those are the times when the roots of your faith grow deep. What you learn in the valley will sustain you on the mountaintop. I do not only want you to get through, I want you to be transformed. Transformation does not come in peaceful day. It comes in the storm. And when the storm comes, I do not withdraw from you. On the contrary, I draw nearer. I do not wait for you to be strong before I love you. I love you even in your weariness, in your collapse. I do not love perfection. I love honesty. Come to me as you are, and I will renew you with an unshakable love. You do not need to appear strong. I am not looking for masks. I am searching for surrendered hearts. A heart that depends on me is a weapon far greater than any sword. For I will fight for you. I will bring you through. I will fulfill every word I have spoken over your life. You need only to remain in me. So remember this: when you kneel down, you are not small. You are shaking the forces of darkness. When you stand for the truth, even if you stand alone, my angels encamp around you. When you refuse to give up, even when everything seems to come against you, I am using that very faithfulness to clear a path for others to follow. My beloved child, even in this very moment, something is unfolding around you, something your eyes have not yet perceived and your heart has not fully grasped. It is an urgent situation taking place quietly, not only in the earthly realm, but in the spiritual realm, where invisible battles are having profound effects on your life and the lives of those you love. I do not come to you in panic, but with an urgent love, because I need you not only to awaken, but to stand firm and respond to my leading. Remember, the enemy does not sleep. He advances in silence, sowing chaos, division, wounds, and doubt. But I, your faithful shepherd, am not standing idly by. I am calling you back to your watchpost. Do not be deceived by the outward calm, for beneath the surface, a great storm is forming, and you were created to stand in the gap, to intercede, to uphold the light, not to be swept away by the winds. Remember this: you are not a victim. You are chosen. You are not a passive observer of your circumstances. You hold the keys of prayer that can alter the outcome. I have given you spiritual weapons that no one can take away from you. My word, powerful prayer, the Holy Spirit who lives in you, and my eternal presence. My beloved, in this hour, do not ignore even the smallest of signs. Do not dismiss the subtle stirrings within your spirit, strange dreams, sudden warnings in your heart, shifts in relationships, or changes in your surroundings. These may all be heavenly alarms calling you to pray, to obey, to walk by faith. There are things being set in motion that, if you are not spiritually alert, could lead you astray. But I will not let you face them alone. I am releasing heavenly wisdom, spiritual discernment, and clear vision, so you may distinguish what is from me and what is rooted in deception. Do not act in haste. Do not respond in emotion. Walk in peace, led by my Spirit. This is not only a season of urgency, but a divine moment of transition. The old is trembling, and the new is beginning to take shape. You will witness relationships break apart or be unexpectedly restored. You will see old doors close and unexpected pathways open. And through it all, I am teaching you to place your trust not in circumstances, but in me. Take this moment as an opportunity to lay down a fresh foundation of faith. Do not lean on fleeting feelings. Build your spiritual life upon the solid ground of my word, the fellowship of those who love me, and the quiet place where I meet with you in secret each day. Choose surrender. Choose prayer. Choose to listen and obey. And now, I speak these words to seal them upon your heart. O my chosen one, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, and do not tremble, for I am the one who goes before you, and I am the one who will never leave you behind. Though the world may change, I do not change. Though many voices echo around you, mine remains clear to those who seek. Though the storm may roar, my peace remains perfect for those who take refuge in me. NC, my beloved child, this is your moment. Rise up, take your place, pray with conviction, act with boldness, live as one who knows that he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. 1 John 4:4. Remember, not everyone will understand you, but I do. Not everyone will walk with you, but I will never depart from you. You may not always feel me, but I have never, and will never, withdraw my love from you. Pause for a moment. Still your heart, and listen to the heartbeat of heaven resounding within your spirit. I am calling you to step into deeper waters where there is no room for ambiguity or apathy, where every step you take carries eternal weight. This is not just a passing season. This is a kairos momentan, appointed time, marked in history by my own hand, in which I am raising up my chosen ones. These are not those swept away by worldly trends, but those who will stand firm amidst the shaking to fulfill my will. You feel the stirring because I am stirring. You sense the urgency because I am urgent. Not because I am anxious, but because this is the hour of preparation for the great things to come, and I do not want you to miss it. You are not merely a spectator watching from the sidelines. You are an indispensable part of the complete picture of heaven's design. I have seen the silent questions within your heart. Am I truly chosen? Am I enough? I answer you, it is I who have chosen you. Not because you are the most skilled, but because you are willing. Not because you are perfect, but because you carry a heart that listens. And if you will only draw near to me, I will take care of the rest. You do not need to know everything. You do not need to fully understand every strategy. But you do need to enter into my presence where I will pour out things that belong to eternity, wisdom not born of books, sight that surpasses natural eyes, and strength that does not come from fleeting emotions. I desire to teach you how to listen not just with your ears, but with your spirit, how to see not merely with your eyes, but through the light of my word. There are battles unfolding even now, and unless you guard your life with spiritual alertness, you will be swept into a spiral of weariness, of doubt, of sweet yet dangerous compromise. I have not left you to fight alone. I have prepared armor for you, the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the belt of truth, the shoes of readiness to proclaim the gospel of peace, the shield of faith, and the sword of the Spirit, which is my word. Ephesians 6:10-17. But remember, these weapons will be useless if you do not learn to wield them through deep intimacy with me. My beloved child, This is not the time to delay. This is the time to dwell in my presence, Seno, as one who visits for a few fleeting moments, but as one who lives there, who seeks, who digs deep into every word I speak, every breath I whisper. For from that place, the strategies of heaven will be released. From that place, you will know when to advance, when to wait, and when to stand still and see the salvation of your God. Transformation is never easy, yet it is precisely in these moments that the chosen ones are revealed, and I am revealing you to you, not as an image of weakness, but as one who was formed to stand firm in the midst of the storm. I have placed within you things you have not yet discovered. The living waters you thought had run dry, I will cause them to flow again. The dreams you believed were dead, I will resurrect them when you place your heart in my hands. Do you know this? My child, what I am doing in your life is not just for you, but for those who will be touched through you. You are a link in the chain of deliverance. You are a keeper of the flame for a generation. You are the gatekeeper when others have fallen asleep. Do not underestimate your position simply because it is not loud. Your quiet faithfulness is shaking the spiritual realm. So come closer. My beloved, step into the deep. Let everything else fade, so that your heart may be fully aligned with mine. Do not run after every voice that calls from the world. Learn to silence the noise so you can hear me clearly. For in this Kairos moment, even the slightest deviation can delay the season I have appointed. I am not calling you into a new role, but into your truest identity, not into a costume you wear and remove, but into a transformation that begins from within. And when you abide in me, you will know yourself not as others have labeled you, but as I see you, the anointed one, the chosen one, the one I am sending. Do not fear the days ahead. Even if trials come, I will go before you. Even in the darkness, I will be your guiding light. Even when opposition rises, I will fight for you. All I ask is that you keep your heart tender and your ears attentive, and you will not lose your way. I know where you are. I know what lies ahead, and I also know the wonder that is drawing near. My precious child, you cannot fight spiritual battles while living on the surface. You cannot win the war with weariness and inconsistency. This is the hour to root yourself deeply in my word. Like a tree rooted in the ground during a drought, this is the time to nourish your spirit through worship, through unceasing prayer, through setting apart intimate moments with me, for that is the place where you are filled. That is where the anointing flows. That is where revelation is born. There are things I will not reveal in the noise. There are strategies I release only to those willing to wait in silence. Just as I spoke to Elijah, not through the mighty wind, not through the earthquake, nor the fire, but in a gentle whisper, so too will I speak to you. Learn to hear me with your spiritual ears, that you might not miss the guidance that comes from heaven. When you learn to remain in my presence, you will be shown things your mind could never grasp. I will show you how to pray, where to stand, what position to hold, who to protect, and which direction to walk. I will teach you what to say and when to stay silent. I will give you spiritual discernment to distinguish between truth and deception, between what is of me and what is a snare from the enemy. And when you obey, even in the smallest matters, you are establishing heaven's order on earth. You are not living just for yourself. You are a part of my army, not one clothed in visible armor. but one empowered by the Holy Spirit. And when you stand in your rightful place, every step you take will trample upon serpents and scorpions. Just as I promised in Luke 10:19, behold, I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy. Nothing shall by any means harm you. This is not merely a word of encouragement. It is a word of commissioning. I did not call you to the battlefield only to abandon you. I called you. I equipped you, and I go before you. There is nothing you will face that I have not already seen. There is no force that I have not already defeated. There is no storm that I cannot calm. My beloved child, be watchful. There are doors I am opening, but there are also doors that must be shut. There are relationships that should be preserved, but there are also soul ties that must be severed. There are places I am leading you into, but there are also territories you must leave behind. Let my Spirit be your guide. Do not follow your emotions. Do not be swayed by public opinion. Do not listen to sweet lies and ignore the honest voice within you. You are chosen to awaken others, but first you must awaken yourself. Do not let your heart fall asleep in complacency or spiritual pride. Keep your heart tender. Let me correct you. Let me train you. For the one who humbles themselves before me is the one I will lift up when the appointed time comes. Victory does not come through grand displays, but through daily faithful obedience. You do not need to stand out before men. You need to stand firm before me. You do not need the applause of others. You need my approval. For the reward you seek does not come from the world, but from the one who sees what is hidden and rewards justly. This season may be filled with challenges, but it is also filled with potential. It is in times of global confusion that I will raise up my faithful ones. It is when darkness thickens that the light within you will shine even brighter. Do not flee from the dark places. Step into them carrying the lamp I have placed in your hand, so that its light may shine and bring hope. For I am with you, and where my presence dwells, there is power to transform. Prepare your heart. Prepare your hands. Prepare your mind. For I am doing a new thing, and I do not want you to merely witness it. I want you to participate in it. This is your moment. Do not miss it. Do not turn back. Stand firm. For I, the Lord of hosts, I am moving, and you are the one I have chosen to walk with me in this season. My beloved child, there are moments when the fire I placed in your heart seems small-like, a flickering ember barely holding on. But know this, I never let that fire die out completely. Even when circumstances try to smother it, even when doubt wraps tightly around you, even when tears blur your vision, deep within you remains a place that belongs to Maya, place where light can never be overcome by darkness. It is from that very place that I will breathe new wind, reignite the sleeping flame, and release a surge of life from heaven. Do not fear when you feel the passion waning. Do not feel ashamed when you realize you've grown weary, paused, or even wanted to turn back. For I do not come to condemn you. I come to restore. I come to relight the lamp you thought had gone out. I am the God of restoration. What you believed was broken, I can renew. What you thought was dead, I can resurrect. The promises that seemed buried, I can bring to life again right on time. In my divine hour, do you remember the first time your heart stirred with passion for me? Do you remember the days when you longed for the hour of prayer, when being in my presence felt like home? and you never wanted to leave, I am still the same. I have not changed. And now, I desire to rekindle within you that same passion, not with fleeting emotions, but through a mature devotion, a love that has grown beyond mere feelings. I am calling you into deeper waters, into a place where the flame does not just spark for a moment, but burns steadily through unwavering faithfulness. This world does not need more empty words or hollow performances. It needs people who carry genuine fire, people whose light breaks through the darkest nights. A single lamp shining in the night holds far more value than 100 candles glowing in daylight. I am looking for sons and daughters who dare to keep the flame alive, even when others try to extinguish it. Those who are willing to stand alone if necessary, holding the line I have assigned to them. Those who understand that true worth is not measured by applause, but by faithfulness to the one who sees all. Being chosen does not always mean being accepted. At times, you will be misunderstood. At times, you will feel isolated. There will be moments when you are tempted to give up, but it is in those very moments when you choose to persevere, to remain, to keep praying, to keep loving, to keep forgiving, that you demonstrate a strength not of this world. And I, who see what is done in secret, will reward you in the open. My beloved, I want you to see beyond what you feel in this moment. I want you to grasp the greater picture. Your obedience today may be the very key that unlocks freedom for an entire generation tomorrow. One act of faithfulness can open the floodgates of blessing over your lineage. One decision to walk in holiness could break generational curses that have lingered for decades. Do not overlook the significance of your daily choices. They are seeds of a harvest far greater than anything you can currently comprehend. Know this: the fire I placed within you is not meant only to light your way. It is meant to illuminate the path for others, to bring warmth to hearts that have grown cold, to consume the lies of the enemy and bring forth the truth, to reignite lamps that have gone dark. You are not living just for yourself. You are a bearer of fire, a keeper of the gate, a watchman in the night. Never forget that. I am calling you to live differently, not to boast in your distinction, but to walk humbly in consecration. You cannot blend in with the crowd and still expect to change it. You cannot flow with the current of the world and still bring living water. I did not call you to be agreeable with the majority. I called you to shift the tide. Your life is meant to stand apart, not in pride, but in holy surrender. There will be moments when you stumble, but when you fall, get up. I did not give you grace so that you could remain in the dark. I gave it so that you would have the strength to rise and walk forward. Do not let shame anchor you in the past. Let my love pull you near again. No one in my hands is ever too far to be saved, and no one is ever too late to be restored. You belong to me, and I will never forsake you. My dear child, guard your heart with vigilance. Be watchful of the thoughts you allow to enter your mind. What seems harmless can become a doorway for fear, for doubt, for despair. Protect that gate. Let my word be the last thing you hear at night and the first thing you hear in the morning. When my truth fills your heart, you will remain unshaken, even when the world around you trembles. Learn to breathe with me. Slow down enough to recognize that I am near. In everything you do, in every word you speak, in every choice you face, ask me, Lord, what do you say about this? And I will not remain silent to the one who seeks me sincerely. I will respond with peace. I will lead you with a gentle whisper. I will surround you with wisdom that comes from above. Do not forget to praise me, not because I need to hear it, but because your soul needs to be reminded of the one who is worthy of all praise. Praise is where you reposition your mind. When you praise me in the midst of trials, you are declaring that my power is greater than your problem. When you praise in confusion, you trample over fear. When you praise in suffering, you are lifting up your faith. And it is precisely in praise that breakthroughs take place. Do not think you are insignificant. Every moment you offer to me is an eternal seed. Every act of love you give is a victory over darkness. Every time you choose truth over deception, forgiveness over bitterness, faith over anxiety, you are taking another step closer to the complete victory I have destined for you. So, keep that flame alive. Feed it with my word, with time in my presence, with worship, and with the fellowship of other children who are also tending their fire. Walk with steadfast heart, for I am walking with you. That flame will not be extinguished, for it does not come from you, it comes from me. My beloved child, now that you have passed through the deep spiritual layers I have revealed, now that your soul has been softened by the fire of trial and your faith refined through each day of obedience, I want you to pause for a moment and see this. You are drawing near to the time of fulfillment. Every promise I have spoken over you was never just a word of encouragement, it was a divine covenant, sealed in blood. And I am the faithful one who never breaks a vow. When you look around, there may still be battles left unfinished. There may be doors not yet opened, dreams not yet fully formed. But do not let that cause you to doubt. My timing may differ from your expectations, but it is never late. For I am the one who holds time, the one who works all things together for the good of those who love me. My dear one, you have a future, you have a hope, and even in the storm, I am using my mighty hand to guide you through. Even when you cannot hear my voice, know that I am still at work in the silence. I have not forgotten. I have not forsaken. I am clearing the path, removing the obstacles you cannot see. How could I turn away from the quiet offerings you've lifted to me? How could I ignore those moments when you sat alone, heart heavy, and yet still chose to lift your eyes and whisper, Lord, I trust you, my child. Every time you whispered to me in the stillness of night, every time you endured with patience when no one understood, every time you chose forgiveness over resentment, silence over defense, prayer over complaint, I have seen it. I have heard it, and I have stored it. None of it has been forgotten. Not a single tear has fallen without me beside you. Not a single sigh has escaped your chest without me taking note. In heaven, those invisible moments are becoming precious seeds, planted in fertile soil. And one day, they will yield a harvest far beyond what you could ever imagine. Continue to be faithful, even when everything seems quiet. For silence does not mean absence. It is in the silence that I am doing my deepest work in your soul. It is in the waiting that I am shaping you to look more like me. And it is in the moment you feel weakest that my strength rises most powerfully within you. My beloved child, do not compare your path with that of others. I do not measure your worth by outward success. I look at your faithfulness, at your tender heart, at the trembling hands that are still willing to serve. I am writing your story not with hurried brushstrokes, but with careful detail, with chapters that contain both light and shadow. And one day, When others read your story, they will behold something radiant. No. In all these things we are more than conquerors, through him who loved us. Romans 8:37. Yes, my child, you overcome not because you are great at enduring, but because you are deeply loved. That love does not shift with the seasons of life. It does not fade with the years. It is not limited by your mistakes. That love is the firm foundation beneath your feet when the earth shakes. It is the embrace that holds you when your heart is breaking. It is the warm breath that continues to fill your soul when the world outside grows cold. I did not call you to live like everyone else. I placed within you a portion of my light, that you may shine in dark places. I planted within your heart a calling that cannot be silenced, so you may be a voice for those who are lost and confused. I called you not merely to survive, but to reveal my kingdom through the way you love, the way you forgive, the way you live and hope even when no one else understands why. And yes, I myself will not leave you to do it alone. Every step you take, I go before you. Every turn where you hesitate, I have already seen from afar. Every burden you think is too heavy to bear, I have already placed my shoulder next to yours. You are not alone, you never were, and you never will be. My beloved, I will give you wisdom to know what to say and when to remain silent. I will give you strength to stand firm when the waves crash against your soul. I will give you courage to stay when you're misunderstood, and mercy to still love those who have hurt you. I will give you grace not just once, but every day, every hour, every minute. For my blessings are not given according to a schedule, but according to relationship. Dear child, do not stop. Do not retreat. There are souls waiting to be rescued only through your obedience. There are hearts that will be healed only when you dare to open yours. There are things I will do not through a multitude, but through one person, and that person is you. One day you will look back on the years that once felt meaningless and realize that every small step bore eternal significance. You will see that your simple prayers awakened miracles no one expected. You will understand that each quiet sacrifice became a precious gem in the crown of glory I have prepared for you. Now is the time to look back on the journey you've walked. See how far you've come. The things that once made you fall are now only memories. The fears that once bound you are now life lessons. You are no longer who you used to be. That is the evidence that I have been transforming you step by step, season by season, moment by moment. Be grateful for the journey, even if it wasn't perfect, because through it, I am composing a divine symphony, where every rise and fall has meaning. I do not want you to merely survive this season. I want you to finish it in radiant victory. Not just to get through it, but to rise above it. Not just to overcome, but to stand firm and unshaken, because your heart has been securely anchored in me. And now, I invite you to lift up a song of thanksgiving. Give thanks not only for what you have seen, but also for what is still unseen. For true faith is to believe in what has not yet appeared, to take steps even when the path is not visible. This is the moment for you to shift from waiting to walking in power, from asking to declaring, from hoping to acting, from asking me when to saying, Lord, here I am, use me. I am opening new doors, and only those who are willing to cross over in faith will witness the glory that lies beyond. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not let past wounds keep you stuck. Let go. Move forward. And trust me, my beloved child. I once called Moses, even when he was afraid. I once used Gideon, even when he doubted. I once chose David, even when he was young and overlooked. And now, I am choosing you, not because you are perfect, but because you are surrendered, not because you are the most capable, but because you are willing. That is all I need to work miracles. Remember, the brightest light often shines from the places that were once the darkest. You have walked through pain, heartbreak, and disappointment, but none of it has been wasted. I will use all of it to bring healing to others. You will be one who carries hope because you have known despair. You will bring comfort because you have tasted loneliness. You will teach others to trust because you once walked through the dark and still held on to my hand. Rise up now. Step out of the comfort zone. Dare to dream again. Dare to believe again. Dare to love again. Dare to serve again. Do not let old dreams be buried under the fear of failure. Do not let the voices of criticism drown out the voice within you. Live as one who knows they are chosen, deeply loved, and divinely sent. Live as one who knows exactly who walks beside them. Believe this with all your heart. One day, when you look back, you will clearly see that I never left your side. The hardest roads were the ones where I carried you on my shoulders. The longest nights were the ones where I stayed awake watching over you. The fiercest battles were the ones where my heavenly army surrounded you, though you never even knew. My love is not a fleeting feeling. It is an eternal promise. So now, my child, be strong and courageous. Walk in the light. Even if darkness surrounds you, declare the promise. Even if your reality hasn't yet changed, believe in the power of restoration. Even if your world still feels chaotic, for I, the one who began a good work in you, will be faithful to complete it until the day of fulfillment. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so we may receive the living word together. Build an unshakable faith and walk daily in the boundless love of God. Amen.